Hey everyone, thank you for checking out ATW Travels. This is going to be a ship tour of the Carnival Dream taken around Christmas time, around December 2022. We're starting out here on deck 14, forward ship, which is part of the Serenity Lounge. This is the adults only area. It's 21 and over, and it's a nice area that it's relaxing. You've got these clamshells. There's a bar here. This is a small section of the Serenity deck area, and then it goes up to deck 15. This here was shot at 7 o'clock in the morning, so there's hardly anybody here, but the place does get packed. Moving up to, here we are on deck 15, moving forward to the front of the ship. You'll notice again these clamshells, which are really cool, and some very comfy lounge chairs with extra padding cushions. There's a hot tub on this side, and then there's another one on the other side of the Serenity Lounge or Serenity deck. This area here is really relaxing. It does get pretty windy, especially on sea days. And again, these areas fill up pretty quickly, especially on sea days. But sometimes, I guess even at port days, people will take up these spaces. We got to claim one of these clamshells on one of the sea days, and we got very lucky because we only got, it was the last one that was available. All of them were taken. Just around the corner, you'll find what they call the ship coin. These ship coins are traditionally placed during the construction of a brand new ship, and then when the ship is complete, they're taken out and then placed somewhere on the ship. So each ship may have them in different locations. So here's the one for the Carnival Dream, and this is again on deck 15 by the entrance to the water slides. On deck 12, right here, is the Waterworks area where they have the water slides. They have a couple of big slides and a couple of smaller slides for the little kids. One thing that the Carnival Dream does not have, that the Carnival Breeze did have, was they had this big bucket that would fill up with water, and then every so often it would dump water. We'll continue to make our way towards the aft or the rear of the ship. And this is again deck 12, overlooking the Lido deck with the main pool on deck 10. At night, this gets packed. They have parties, they'll have movies. Midship on deck 12 is this little miniature golf course area with the funnel in the back. And this is a pretty nice area. I saw quite a few people playing golf at different times of the day. This area here is a pretty interesting area. I'm not really sure what its purpose is, but it's just a big open area. They do have lounge chairs, but they were never set up. I guess it could be used as a sun deck. Now in the Carnival Breeze, I believe this is where they had the sky ropes or the ropes course, which they do not have on the Carnival Dream. So that's another difference. And this area overlooks the miniature golf. All the way back on deck 14 on the rear of the ship or the aft is this basketball court, and you could play basketball. I did see they did have a dodgeball tournament on one of the days. Again, this is at 7 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody there, but it does get used. And this overlooks the aft pool on deck 10. This area here on deck 11 is a smoking area. That's where the smokers hang out. Going down to deck 11, again, rear ship. This area here is a non-smoking area. It has a bunch of lounge chairs on one side, and this area overlooks the rear pool with the two hot tubs on either side. And this did get pretty crowded as well. The ship was sailing at a pretty much 100% capacity, which was a lot different than when we took our trip on the Breeze last year, which was only at 60% capacity. So it was definitely noticeable that there were more people. Here we are walking towards one of the smoking sections on deck 11. There's another smoking section on deck 5, I believe. I'm not a smoker, so I'm not too sure. And you would see the people hanging out here in the morning and drinking their coffee and smoking their cigarettes. And this is again on deck 11. It does overlook the decks below, and you could see deck 5, the Promenade, and you can see Guy's Barbecue, which we did try, and that one is only open on sea days. We did try it on the second sea day. That was pretty good. On deck 10, what is also known as the Lido deck. This is where the main pool area is. You have all these lounge chairs, and you have the big screen where they show entertainment in the daytime, and at nighttime they'll have a musician right below the screen, like a DJ or a musician that plays metal drums. And on this deck here, you have the Blue Iguana Tequila Bar, the Red Frog Rum Bar. On the other side, you'll have Guy's Burgers and the Blue Iguana Cantina, which are very popular places for lunch. And the Blue Iguana is very popular for breakfast and lunch as well. They have really good burritos. You can build your own burritos and tacos. Definitely worth checking out. Right past the Blue Iguana Cantina is one of the entrances to the main buffet area, or it's called the Gathering on the Carnival Dream, but it's the biggest restaurant for the breakfast and lunch and dinner buffets. You've got some ice cream machines that are soft serve. You can help yourself at any time, pretty much any time of the day. They do have certain hours where I think they turn them off between midnight and 4 a.m. or something like that. But this area here gets pretty packed again at lunch. They have a lot of variety. They do have a Mongolian walk. They do have different areas for the buffet. At breakfast time, they'll have eggs and bacon and build your own omelets. And then in the afternoon, it changes to a lunch setup. And then past the Lido Marketplace Buffet, or the Gathering, we're back at the back of the ship on deck 10 with one of the bars, the Pizzeria Del Capitano, which serves pizza pretty much 24/7. Also, they do have some hours where they don't serve any pizza. But here we have a pool and then 2 hot tubs. On the other side to the left, and I apologize I did not film it, but there is a seafood shack, which is an additional, it's a paid restaurant. We have never tried it. I've always been curious to try out their lobster rolls. Supposedly the lobster rolls are really good, but I have not had a chance to try it. But hopefully on our next cruise we will try the lobster roll at the seafood shack. So skipping decks 9, 8, 7, and 6, as they are all staterooms, here we are on deck 5 at the rear of the ship. And this is probably one of my favorite spots to be on a ship when the ship is moving, because you get to see, you have this view, it's wide open, and it's so beautiful, it's so relaxing. It's pretty windy, but it's a very cool place to check out. And on the promenade, they have these 2 huge chessboards with the large chess pieces on either side of the ship. The promenade is a nice area. It allows you to walk around the ship on the exterior with relatively little traffic. So you're kind of away from the Lido, you're away from the crowds and the music, and this is just a nice area to come here and relax. Most of the ship you could walk outside on this deck, with the exception of the forward. They do have the forward section closed off to crew members, but here there's a couple of hot tubs. Again, there's one on this side and there's one on the other side of the ship, so you could just walk around and enjoy the fresh air. You'll notice that there aren't actual railings here. They do have these windows which are high up, so it's pretty much like that for most of the promenade area. Here is the area outside of Ocean Plaza on deck 5 with Guy's Barbecue right behind us, but I did not get a chance to film it. You will see a no smoking sign here. This was on embarkation day, so they were fueling up, and this is one of the other smoking sections. And definitely check out a lot of the artwork that they have by the staircases near the elevators. There's some interesting things, and each set of elevators has different types of art. Midship on level 5, or deck 5, inside is what they call Ocean Plaza. And it's a nice little area where there's chairs, and there's a stage right there to the right where they'll have a band or a performer at night, and it's different shows throughout the day. Sometimes they'll have trivia shows here. This place here to the right is you can get specialty coffees, and at breakfast you can get different muffins and cupcakes. It is an additional charge. And this is the map. The ship map shows you where you are. It shows you your speed. If you're ever lost and are wondering where are we, well, this map shows you exactly where you are at any given time. So here we are, where we're heading to Costa Maya. Entering here is the Bonsai Sushi, which is another paid restaurant, pretty reasonable price, where you can get different types of sushis. We did not eat there, but we'll try it one day. It's supposed to be good as well. Past the sushi place, we're approaching Sam's Piano Bar. And this is very similar to the piano bar on the Breeze. It just has a different name here. Here it's Sam's. Over there was called 88 Keys. This one, I believe, it seemed a little bit bigger than the one on the Breeze, but it was fun. We hung out there one night, and you got to hear the performer. He was very talented, by the way, because people would give him requests, all kinds of songs, and he was able to perform those songs, and everybody would participate. And over here is the Burgundy Lounge. So this is the at the rear, again the rear of the ship, and this is where we saw the karaoke shows. But I think they also have comedians and different shows at different times. But I know we did see the karaoke shows here. Right next to the Burgundy Lounge is this little place called The Song, and it's a little lounge. I'm honestly not sure what they have here. We never went there. We never really saw anything happening, but maybe we just missed it. We missed the timing. And this is the hallway leading back to the atrium, overlooking decks, overlooking the atrium lobby. But on deck 5, you've got all these shops. You have the fun shops, you have different stores, you have the Carnival shop, which sells a lot of the Carnival branded merchandise, and you have the cherry on top, which has a lot of the sweets and candies. Always a dangerous place to visit. And there's several high-end shops on this deck. To the right here, you get a glimpse of the casino. I did not film the casino because you can't film when it's open, and I did not film it when the ship was parked in port. On deck 4, the majority of the area for deck 4 overlooking the atrium is the photo gallery. So you have all of these areas where where the crew takes pictures of the passengers embarking or disembarking, or on formal night, or at the ports. And what they'll do is they'll have all the pictures printed out and placed in this area. You also have the photo studio, where you could have formal shots and photo sessions. The Crimson Restaurant is one of 2 main dining rooms. So the Crimson Restaurant is if you have your open time, anytime seating, which basically you can go anytime between 5:30 and 9:30. The other restaurant is for your specified time. If you have a specific time that you go to dinner. And both restaurants are on decks 3 and 4. They're just in different parts of the ship, and both restaurants will have the same menu each night. But Again, it's just one is open timing or your time dining, and the other one is a specific time. And for the open time dining, we still had to make reservations, so to speak. You check in on the app. Let's say you wanted to go eat at 6 o'clock, you would check in on the app and it would tell you how many minutes you would have to wait. So it could be either 10 minutes or 40 minutes, and then you would just head to your area once the table was ready for you. But you'd get a notification on the app. You'll find a lot of artwork on deck 4, and they're just artwork there in the gallery. This is what they call the casino annex. These used to be conference rooms, I believe, and they converted it to a non-smoking casino. It's a much smaller casino, but they do have the basics. They do have the slot machines, and they do have a couple of table games. And it doesn't get as packed as the main casino on level 5. As we continue to head back on deck 4 towards the back, we have the Circle C area, which is a little lounge area for 12 to 14-year-olds. And they probably have video games and TVs set up in there. And then Club O2 next to that, and this one is for 15 to 17-year-olds. Same thing, they probably just have different things for the different age groups. And as we continue even further back, all the way to the back of the ship, we have the Scarlett Restaurant to our left, and then the arcade area, which is they call it the warehouse. It's the arcade area. There's the Scarlett Restaurant, or deck 4, and this is the second entrance. And then here's the arcade, the warehouse, where they have all kinds of video games and air hockey and games that you could win prizes with. So all kinds of all the games that you would see at a regular arcade. It's a pretty good size. Again, I was here in the morning. There wasn't anybody here. I don't think I've been here when it's busy, so I don't know how busy it gets, but I'm sure with the kids, I'm sure they enjoy coming out here and hanging out and playing all these games. And we took this cruise the week of Thanksgiving, basically the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And so there were some kids. They weren't a whole lot, but there were some. I would imagine in the summer, when there's a lot of kids off school, this place would probably be packed. And the last deck that we have in this ship tour is deck 3. This is really where this is when you come in, when you board the ship, you typically would come in on deck 3. And this is the atrium area. It goes all the way up to level 11 with those front-facing glass elevators. It was really nice. They had the Christmas tree decoration and with the atrium bar and all the Christmas decorations. And this is where they would have some live music and then some entertainment throughout the daytime and throughout the evenings. The other area that's really part of Deck 3 is the Encore Theater, and the Encore Theater is actually 3 levels. You can access it from 3, 4, or 5, but this is level 3 right here, and this is where they have a lot of the shows and bingo and some of the morning shows. We did see the shows pretty much every night, I believe, and they have some pretty good production shows with music and entertainment. Finally, wrapping up this ship tour, this is just a view looking down towards the atrium, all the way from deck 10, from the inside area by the elevators. And this concludes the tour. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this ship tour of the Carnival Dream.